The woman in your life will do what she must do to comfort you and calm you down and let you rest now. The woman in your life, she can rest so easily.
Hello everybody and welcome to Women's Spaces. My name is Elaine Holtz and I am your host. And as always, I'm extremely excited about my show. Today I have a special guest with me by the name of Judy Baker. And Judy is a marketing and business consultant and also is a certified action plan marketing course. And she owns the business Completely Creative. And I'm really thrilled about having her here. You know, I'm just so crazy about your logo. Can you explain it a little bit? I mean, what is...
I can. Well, when I came up with the Completely Creative name, it took about 6 months. My original business name was called Brown Bag Productions, and I had a partnership. And when the partnership dissolved, I knew I needed to make a clean break from that. And so I think my husband and I were driving down to San Diego and driving back up to Northern California, and I had a pad with me. And this is something I do with clients when we're trying to name a new product or a new business, or even change the name, is that I'll write down ideas that feel like that concept. And so as we're driving, I mean, you know, this is up and back from San Diego to Sonoma, I'm writing down all these names, and finally we came across and I said, oh, Completely Creative. And thought about it, and he said, yeah, that sounds good. And so my practice was to then, you know, keep the names on the list and look at them another time, look at them the next day. And if they stayed on the list, that was great, and I'd cross things off. And then I finally went, that's totally the right name. It fits, because I'm somebody who isn't boxed in by just doing one thing. And the way that I was changing up my life, it was completely creative. The stuff coming out of my head in the logo, it's because, as most people who know me or spend any time with me, they find out I'm an idea generator. It's hard for me to, you know, to stuff it in. So stuff's always coming out of my mouth, out of my head. And the shooting stars, it's because I realize that I want to reach farther and faster and really explore what's out there and have fun. And that I'm pretty wacky too.
Oh God, I'm stealing your logo. I mean, come on, it's mine. You can't have it anymore. It's
I can come up with one for you.
It's a fabulous, fabulous logo. You know, another thing, you know, that I came across when I met you that really was very attractive to me was that you developed a course or a seminar, I don't know exactly what it is, called the Being Process.
Oh,
you know, I'm so fascinated with it. And you want to go into, I mean, what, to me, being process means probably learning how to be yourself. You know, so explain this venue that you have.
Okay. Well, it's an idea that was started with Byron Katie. She's very famous. She came up with the 4 questions in her book, The Work. And Robert Middleton, who is my mentor, not only studied with Byron Katie, he also has gone through the Landmark Forum. And so he blended the 2 processes, and he's continued to refine it. And the being process came out of that. And it's really a way to look at, if something's going on in my life and I'm not getting the results I want, how am I being? Am I being fluid? Am I being open? Am I being positive, or am I being constricted? Am I being withholding? Am I living in the land of scarcity, which often affects women? They live in a poverty consciousness, yet they say, oh, I want to make $1 million, or oh, I want to be really successful. But everything that they're doing and being is the opposite. And so the being process is a way to get in touch with, what am I thinking? How am I showing up? What actions am I taking? And if I'm not getting the results I want, how to turn that around in a very, very small, very short period of time.
How does a course like this, like learning how to be to be yourself, like you're saying, how would that help a person in business? I mean, how would that push them forward in that area?
Well, often the obstacles that get in our way are things that they're a response to something that happened to us when we were probably under 3 years old. And so it's not a conscious behavior. For instance, for many, many years, I had a very skewed way of dealing with financial information. And it turned out, and I didn't know why. I just knew that, talked about money, I was like out of the room. It turned out because my parents fought about it all the time. So I made this association that money caused crying, shouting, pain, and suffering. So why would I want to deal with it? So I learned that through the being process, that if I was being with money the way I was when I was 3 years old, I wasn't making very intelligent decisions as somebody, who's now having my own business. I was responding like a toddler. So often people find out that what is getting in their way has nothing to do with what they really want, but it is causing them to behave in a way that is going to keep them from what they want to be doing.
So you're saying that taking a course, something like this, or at least looking at yourself,
Yes.
will help you to understand what some of your barriers might be to success, or some of your strengths moving forward in
Yes.
success. How long of a course is this? I mean, it sounds like, when I was looking at it, it sounds like it's a life plan. How long does something like this take?
Well, the being process is part of an overall course, telecourse, or in-person course. I teach people, usually it's an 8-session or over 8 weeks, that's an abbreviated course, or over 4 months where we go through each of these processes. And the being process takes place usually in about the second session, when we're looking at what's your mindset and what are you really thinking, and how can you get rid of those obstacles to your success. So it doesn't take long to master this, but it will come up over and over again. And what I think is the best part about it, I've applied it to my relationships, not just in business, but to my personal relationships. And all of them have improved significantly. My clients, oh my goodness. I have one client, for instance, who has had a great fear of public speaking. And it turned out she had a really goofy belief that was getting in her way, and now she has some tools so that she can decide what she wants to do. She's not being ruled by something that's underground that she doesn't have access to. Now she can use it and get over it. She can make choices, and I think that's the key to it. It gives you the space to make choices. You're not being reactive, you're being proactive.
This is Elaine Holtz with Women's Spaces saying goodbye until the next time.
The woman in your life will do what she must do to comfort you and calm you down and let you rest now. The woman in your life, she can rest so easily. She knows everything you do because the woman in your life is you. The woman in your life knows simply what is true. She knows a simple way to touch